What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Gozer back, always delivering the big names. Today we get to talk to a good friend of ours, Ben Rothwell. We've been covering him all the way back from his MMA days, IFL, UFC, Affliction, you name it. Now he's getting down at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. He's got a big fight coming up at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 56. That takes place on Saturday, December 2nd. His opponent, Todd Duffy, another guy we know through MMA. Solid fight. This is the co-main event on that particular night in Salt Lake City. What's up, Big Ben? How are you?
I'm great, guys. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Did you ever train with Todd Duffy? I'm curious. In all those years, I know he did ATT, Rufus Fort. You've been at your own gym. He's been at AKA. But at any point, you guys ever trained?
Enlighten me really quick. Todd trained at Rufus Fort. I didn't know that. I know that he trained all over the place. Now, especially when I'm fighting them, I'm hearing like we got a lot of the same friends.
Yeah.
Todd's outside of the cage, like when I'm not even to compete against the guy. He's one of those guys, just like a lot of these guys. The guy I feel like I could be obviously really good friends with. Really, really, really nice guy. Guy, like I said, we're friends with a lot of the same people in the industry. He's like you just named it. He's been some different camps. He's been around, but we never crossed paths in training, and we never crossed paths in a fight. So anyway, yeah. So sum that up. No, the answer is no. We've never run into each other, and now we're gonna do battle.
Heavyweights are unique because there's really not that many great heavyweight MMA fighters. No, this is what I mean. I maybe that came out wrong. What I mean is there's probably about 100 of you, right, in the last 20 years that really, really quality reached the top, close to the top, bang, bang. But like you could probably name 1,000 lightweights. And so I just figured somewhere along the way, hey, I need a southpaw, I need a this guy, I need a that guy, and that's why I thought maybe that might have happened. But all right, this is really interesting. Both of you, we've known each other. We've all known each other for a long time. You guys have fought in many different promotions, multiple promotions, and to tell you the truth, he even went on a military visit just like you did with us. He went on one with us too, and like you said, he's just a really solid cat. So I expect a really, really great fight from two guys that seem to be laser focused, and at this point in their careers. Ben, do you still get as excited for these matchups like you did in MMA and like you have in bare knuckle? What's the excitement level for you?
Well, it's high. When I lose the excitement and not feeling that vibe no more, I think it'll be time to be done to call it quits. Not saying that training camps aren't tough and that 42 years old there isn't challenges, but my excitement and my desire to do this will overtake any of that. And I'm still able to push. I got a great. I'm thankful to have a great group of people around. A good boxing coach holding mitts for me. Great training partners that I didn't have in my MMA career that probably could have probably helped me out and helped me get past some of those losses that I took. Can't do anything about that. It's all about ups and downs, and taking those downs and learning from it. I just got to take what I got now and going forward, and I'm having a lot of fun with BKFC. I love this style. The boxing just entices the action. It's all on the feet, and the crowds love it, and I get excited when the fans get excited. So it's been a good time. 2-0 with 2 finishes. Now we got to get number 3.
When will you know it's time? I'm not showing you the door, but like you said, 42 years old, and you've done so much in combat sports, and a lot of people don't know this. You started at 17, so that's 25 years of just professional competition. Set aside anything happening in your youth, right? But is it like can you ever reach a point where you're just done and it doesn't matter how big the paycheck is?
I'm sure your body and God can come and say, yeah, like there's going to come a time where you don't have a choice no more. I'm not there yet, and I don't have the BKFC title yet. It's kind of like the new thing. I'm not really interested in fighting anywhere else or doing anything else. I've really invested the last 2 years into this, getting good at this, and I'd like to get some more fights doing this. I've only really got 2 fights, and like I said, 2 years, 2 fights. So I put a lot of work into this, and I'm hoping now we get things going. The BKFC really seems to be rolling. They're really putting on a lot of events, and I'm hoping with a good performance here, we can get more active next year. I'd like to shoot for a good year next year. I'd like to, obviously I got a quality test in front of me and Todd Duffy. It's an action-packed fight, and it's about, getting through this fight and getting through as unscathed as I can and being healthy. And I'd really like to, push to try to get as many as I could next year. But it's tough. BKFC, as you can see, they've kind of reserved me and Platinum Perry and the bigger names for these big events that they're doing. So how many of them they got planned next year, I don't know. They just keep amazing us with what they're doing. They just keep upping the bar each year. I think David Feldman posted he had 5 events or 3 events his very first year. It was just 5 years ago, and now next year they're projected to have over 50 events. So pretty amazing in a short amount of time.
Why is the title fight not happened yet? You didn't just come off the street. This is Big Ben Rothwell we're talking about, coming over from MMA. So you're bringing over some equity, some combat sports equity, success, a name. I don't even know. Do we call this an eliminator fight? Like, have you been told anything in regards to that topic?
David Feldman got asked at the press conference, and he stated with a solid performance, exciting finish, that Todd and I are both up for it. Why, I don't know. I have no idea. It also, the question is, there is a UFC, there is the heavyweight title fight that night, and it's like a few fights underneath. So Todd and I are the co-main event. Maybe it's the 265 thing. Maybe they need to get me. I went on my last fight and was like, oh, it's going to be 285. Well, obviously that didn't happen. I got to be 275 for this fight. Maybe the good performance to make the weight class 275. I honestly don't know if that's what it's about, just a weight thing, or they got something else planned and they like me taking, Todd Duffy doesn't have the title. He couldn't give him the title, but it's an exciting fight. I think it's a more exciting fight than if I did fight one of the 2 guys that are fighting for the heavyweight title. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I don't care. Like I said, the press conference, I just got to keep knocking guys out, and I believe good things will happen.
Ben, so a lot of people have tried what you've done, and whether it's bare knuckle or PFL, they just haven't had success right away. What is it about you? Do you feel like you took it more serious? Did you take in more advice? Are there certain things that you've done that, like, what can you attribute your success to so far in BKFC?
I can't really tell you what went wrong with the other guys. As far as taking it serious, I don't know. Is that what they did wrong? They didn't, because I treat this like a UFC fight. Like this is top of the, for the BK and bare knuckle. I'm at the pinnacle of bare knuckle fighting. These are the best guys at bare knuckle, and maybe it's just that. Maybe there's just guys that are good at wrestling and jiu-jitsu. They're like, yeah, I can do bare knuckle too. Probably didn't go well. I'm known for striking. I'm 36 wins or whatever as an MMA. I got like 30 finishes with strikes. You know what I mean? Like a lot of knockouts. I like using my hands. So it was just a natural fit. I think it was really natural for me to kind of fall into this. And it's not the same. It's definitely different. But I was able to adapt, I believe, relatively quick. And I'm already proven just for my couple of fights. It was my last fight. Really, I got 3 good rounds with a really quality guy, a tough opponent, and that's when I really learned a lot. So I'm excited to take that experience into the next one and kind of continue this trend that I'm on.
Does this almost feel like home to you? And I ask you that because you fought in a lot of different organizations under different rule sets. What does this feel like for you? Because you seem like a natural to us.
I'm definitely home now. Yeah. I mean, it's really fun to see them promote me now, putting out videos and kind of building it. And I'm getting people excited. And I feel like I'm pulling back a lot of my past fans and people of it have gotten interested and they're watching these fights and they're getting excited too. It's combat sports. That's what I keep saying. People are like, what do you think about, karate combat or this or that, or, the YouTubers doing boxing? And I just say it's combat sports. and I feel like it's international, it's worldwide. It's probably one of the most awesome things about this that I love is that it's a worldwide entity, and like everybody gets excited about it. Everybody's involved with it. And combat sports in general is just good because if you watch one of those YouTubers do boxing, or if you watch karate combat, there's a good chance you're going to watch BKFC. Just like the MMA scene, it all kind of flows down. You know, I know lots of fans are tuning into all of it. They're watching all of it. So I just think that's a good thing. And for me, my job is to build the BKFC brand. They're my home right now, and I think they're doing some exciting things, and I'm proud and excited to be with them.
Do you ever miss MMA, the training, the competition? You know, this morning PFL acquired Bellator. Do you still keep up with all that?
Yeah, I seen that today for them. You know, congrats to the guys. I hope it's a good thing for the fighters. I think a lot of fighters were in Bellator. We're in limbo. You know, what's going to happen to them? Maybe they knew something on the inside, but to the rest of us, I had no idea if PFL was really going to go through with that or not. So I hope it's a good thing for guys like Sergio Pettis and stuff like that. Like they got a place to go and thrive and get going and stay active and, you know, have good competition. And it's basically took Bellator and PFL, and that I guess should be the number 2 entity in MMA at this point. I know ONE FC talks that they're big. I think that they just kind of have their area in the world and their market, and they're doing their thing, and that's great for them in that area. But in the U.S., I just feel like it's just kind of the 2 entities right now. It's the UFC and the PFL, and it's just good for the fighters. You know, fighters need places to go. They need to have other options and places to call home themselves. So I'm happy for everybody involved with that way. I hope they have success. I feel like there's always enough for everyone, you know. So kind of comboing with that as far as missing it and whatnot. I mean, I own an MMA gym, so I'm always in it. My best student, Cody Lynn, won the Anthony Pettis Fighting Championship title last night. So super proud of him. And I can't let go of jiu-jitsu and all that goes with it. You know, I'm even considering we got to see. I don't want to say get ahead of myself, but I have never done an actual grappling competition of any sort. And it's something that if I get away from the boxing a little, you know, the bare knuckle for a minute, and I get a little time to just train my grappling, maybe it's something I would like venture in to do. Because off the scenes, I kind of have a good ground game, better than most big heavyweights that you'd know. So kind of be fun to get out there and put it to the test.
Ben, could you be lured back by a PFL Bellator combo? Or I mean, you don't sound disgruntled at BKFC. I'm not putting your words in your mouth at all, but I'm just wondering if that's in your contract, that if a big offer comes, you could do it.
Like
Remember
Francis
we teased,
Ngannou? Like
remember we teased that at one point?
If I got offered to fight Francis Ngannou, we would have a serious sit down with everybody involved, because that's the kind of fight that I would think any of us guys in my position, that would be a fight that you'd want to take. Like I can't speak for them, but I'm 100% would take that fight. Yes, it's just one of those fights. It's like a legacy fight. It's a long thing, but Francis did so good in his boxing match that I think that got really pulled away at this point in time. You know, I think they're talking about trying to match him up with other boxers to do MMA, things like that. So I think he's going to get pulled away in a totally different direction in that world. And they're already talking about him and Tyson Fury having a rematch. So sounds like he's got his hands full. Something like that, though, would be fun to come back to. But outside of that, I'm having a lot of fun with the BKFC, and I think I got plenty to get done here. Like I said, I'd like to keep knocking guys out and get the title and, you know, keep building the brand.
What did you think as that fight unfolded against Tyson Fury? I'm sure you were probably team MMA like us, rooting for Francis. Maybe not. I don't know. You can tell us. But what did you think of that fight? And at any point in time, did it cross your mind like I could do something like that? Maybe not directly fighting Fury, but just doing a high-profile boxing fight.
I'd love to fight Tyson Fury.
Oh, okay.
I wanted I'm happy and proud for Francis because he's living the dream of, like, I wanted to, if I didn't have some of the things that had happened to me, like, yeah, I wanted to win the title, and I wanted to kind of take that same route and call it Tyson Fury years ago. And, Francis got to do it because I think Francis sees the same thing I see. We can box these guys. Like, they're not that extraordinary against the levels. Francis is extraordinary, to be able to go over. He surprised a lot of people. He didn't really surprise me. In fact, I have several messages on Facebook and tweeted out that prove it. Like, before the fight happened, people were like, oh, look at Tyson Fury hit pads and Francis Ngannou hit pads. Francis is going to get murdered. And I immediately went on there and said, you guys are clowns. You have no idea. It means absolutely nothing. I've watched world beaters in the back room sit and look garbage on pads go win a world title. And I've seen guys just absolutely annihilating the pads, look awesome, made the whole back room scared. The guy goes out and gets knocked out. Doesn't mean anything. And I knew Francis had hands, and I knew he was taking it serious. And I'm proud that he went out and showed what he did. Because, a whole bunch of MMA guys were like, I want to do that. But I've been wanting to box a long time. I mean, it's like, that's why I'm in the BKFC doing what I do. I throw hands. I like my hands. So it's a natural fit. And I would like to fight Tyson Fury. Crazy as it sounds, everybody, oh my God, this and that. But boxing gloves it's different than even bare knuckle. And I'm really, 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 really good with gloves on. It's a different thing. My defense is different, and I got some good tricks I like to show. So maybe I don't get Tyson Fury, but maybe just a boxing match in general down the road. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. You're the king of Kenosha. Has anyone in Kenosha ever come up to you and say, I'd like to take that crown off you? Like, has everyone left you alone? You're the guy still? Or any young bucks want to ever show up at the gym and sign the waiver?
I welcome them. I need some training partners. So it's funny. We had some guys from out of town, bigger kid. That's, he's like 270 and stuff. And yeah,
You showed him what time it was?
Something like that. Yeah. It was a good time. Like I'm still pretty active. Like I'm not too old yet. I can still kind of hold my own. So
was it a respectful sparring session, or was it a good guy versus bad guy thing?
I was respectful. I mean, He came at me. Like I had to let him know, and that's why I liked it. I don't always like. I got a whole gym of guys that are a lot of different weight classes, so I've gotten very, very good at controlling my power so that I can spar 170, 155, a 125er. I can spar those guys, and everybody's safe and happy. But if a 275-pound, 25-year-old kid comes in and he's throwing hard at me, well, I got to let him know what time it is.
I love it.
And it's good because it's good for me because I throw different, and your cardio changes.
Right.
Everything, your muscle. And when you start throwing harder like that, I can spar for an hour, no problem, and keep busy, get sweaty, kind of put everybody into check. But when you start picking it up like that, it's different. So it was good. It was good to check it and kind of put him in his place. Because my main training partner, he's 6'8", 270 pounds. So I got a really good training partner in him. And
what's his name?
Kalen Hall.
Is he the Prince of Kenosha?
No, he's from Madison. He drives down 3 times a week to spar with me. So he's super solid, great guy. He's a D1 wrestler that I've turned into a boxer. He's been with me since 2019. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool thing we got going.
Thanks for always allowing us to ask some of the silly questions, but I got one serious one for you. You may not like it, but there was one thing that you said, I'm not sure what's going on. Dave said this at the press conference. Why don't you ever just turn your head and go, so Dave, is this a title eliminator? Like, wouldn't you want that? Like, wouldn't you want to know that and clear your head of it instead of wondering so that yahoos like me don't have to ask you that question?
I just don't give a shit. I don't care. Because I beat this guy, and then they're like, oh, we got to have, Juggernaut's going to fight the winner of this heavyweight title fight. I'm going to go, not surprised. I mean, I don't know if you guys see this, but Juggernaut's really, he's a 205-pound champ, and he's got his big thing about fighting a heavyweight. And they got me and Todd Duffy. We're co-main event on top of it. We're like doing our thing. You got these, you got 2 heavyweights that are going to fight for the title. I wouldn't be surprised if they slip in real quick a Juggernaut versus one of those guys. And then if Juggernaut does win, I would see him relinquishing it, and then I would fight whoever. But who knows? Maybe I just do such a great job that I just get the next title fight. I don't care. I don't even care. I don't think, because I have absolutely no control over any of that. The only thing I can do is control how I fight against Todd Duffy and and put on the kind of performance that gets the fans excited, that they let Dave know that they want to see me fight. That's what I need to happen.
Fair enough. Well, so far you're 2 for 2. That's why we can't wait to watch you throw down on December 2nd against Todd Duffy, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 56. You can watch the fights, folks, on Fight TV. And like Big Ben said, main event right above them, Mike Perry, Eddie Alvarez. That's a banger as well. What a nice 1-2 punch. Yeah. Beck Rawlings against Christine Ferreira. She's a beast, man. Always enjoy watching her.
And
thanks
now
as always.
we added on Jimmy Rivera versus
police officer. He's a cop?
No.
Yeah, the former UFC fighter, right?
Yeah, he's gonna fight Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, he's a I think in New Jersey. He became a cop like 2 years ago.
Oh,
so
cool.
He's doing this on the side, yeah.
Yeah, I just support him. I know he came in and had to pass the UFC's good fighter, and that should be a hell of a fight too. So great card. Great card for Salt Lake City, and should be good.
Definitely. All right, Big Ben. Thanks as always for making time for us, man. We appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of your camp. Congratulations on the additions to your family. It's been a wonderful last few years for you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys all these years sticking it out. Here we are. You guys are spreading the great gospel of combat sports.
Yes,
Even though you
sir.
put MMA in front of it, you guys represent combat sports in general. So always humbly, I'm your big friend, bodyguard. I'll go with you to any signings and whatnot we got to go do. So we had fun adventures. And
sure.
you guys are the best. Appreciate it. And Junkie Nation, we got to get a party going again so I can stop in and crash it.
Love it.
Can't wait. All right. Take care, Big Ben. Thanks for the kind words. See you, man.